I believe we are live. And oh my god. You know what? Another good race. Right, let's get everything sorted. Let's get that out of the way. And where do I even start? Let's start, of course, having a look at some of the teams. Well, actually, no, let's have a look at the optimal teams first. So, with the race, of course, Ferrari, who we thought potentially weren't going to do as well as they did, they hit it out the bag. Like I said, Behrman with the driver of the day. A lot of people thought that wouldn't happen. However, oh wait, hang on. However, it did happen like we suspected. Him just finishing the race, getting top. He came 7th. I need to get the chat up if I can. Yeah, sorry, give me a second. I'm just getting the chat up. Where have you lot gone? There you are. Right. So, Limaz, did you go for the Aston Martin team? Because, yes, Aston Martin team, it wasn't as bad. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah, Stroll annoyingly with that crash, it was completely his fault. Was annoying. However, if you went with the Red Bull Ferrari team with what I got and didn't have Stroll, I had Stroll, so it was a bit annoying. However, it still did better than the other teams. Red Bull Ferrari, Limaz, then we did fine. Limaz, we beat Red Bull Ferrari did better than everyone else because but Stroll with Kev Perez. Oh yes, okay. So Magnussen still got you 6 points. That's all right. Bottas, that's okay. Albon, mate, Limaz, you did good. You would have got about 190 odd points, which is much better than most people did this weekend. It is annoying about the Stroll situation, but unless you predicted, I mean, we did make a team with Behrman in it with Perez. However, it was a very much an unknown team. No. Stroll only get a minus 20, but because of his points before, it's a minus 17. So it actually works out fine for us, Limaz. So we got 187 plus if you had Magnussen, that's an extra 6 points. No, an extra 5 points on me. So we did actually decently. Of course, we don't know the fastest pit stop times yet. A lot of pit stops were slow today, so it'll be interesting seeing which ones were the best. I had to settle for Red Bull Aston. Yes. Red Bull Aston kind of got fucked. Annoyingly for anyone who went Red Bull Aston, I'm so happy because I thought I was going to do a minus 10 to get to Red Bull Aston because I was so scared about Behrman. Thank God I just stuck with my guns. Annoyingly, my guns did have Stroll in it. I should have no negatived or just kept with Ricardo. Ricardo didn't have a good weekend, but it still would have been net 18. To be fair, I also have Ferrari, Red Bull. Yeah, mate, Duke, you have had one of the best weekends then. Let me show the optimal teams. Honestly, if you had only if you had Behrman today, you would have done better. Leclerc actually was the highest scoring driver today because he got fastest lap. And that is also why I've been trying to say, unless Verstappen has a perfect race, the Perez, Red Bull, Ferrari teams end up doing better half the time. Oh my days, what a race. Behrman is a legend. Jack, in it. I could not believe what race we had today. Of course, we knew coming into Saudi Arabia it was going to be another banger. It wasn't as good as some of the other Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, but my God, Verstappen, Perez, you know, bar first and second, which was pretty boring. Obviously, the Norris-Hamilton, Piastri getting blocked by Hamilton the whole time. I was so frustrated. I just wanted Piastri past. Yeah, and then we had Magnussen literally dropping like 2 seconds in like one sector to keep to get Hulkenberg the points today. Haas scored points. If anyone had Hulkenberg, I still don't advise actually having Hulkenberg on the next weekend because we did see if it was a normal race, he wouldn't have got 11 points. But again, Ocon, jammy little bastard, just staying out of trouble and just got out of the way. I use no negative. Yeah, Lawrence, then you're fine then. No negative will keep you doing probably better than my first team. Think Red Bull did good on the pit stops regarding they did a double with Perez, 3-5 or so behind Verstappen. Yeah, I'm hoping Red Bull were the ones who got the points for that. I doubt it was... It genuinely might be some of the smaller teams because everyone who pitted during the safety car didn't actually have that... Like, Ferrari didn't have good pit stops because they obviously had to make sure they had safe releases. Behrman was expensive. Yeah, I remember if you got Behrman in, I remember it was because for us, we had to drop down to Aston, so it still wouldn't have worked out. So thank God we didn't. However, it would have worked if we went to Leclerc instead of Perez. But Leclerc getting fastest lap was insane. I mean, it's perfect for us Ferrari owners. A bit annoying for Perez owners, but it's still better considering Verstappen didn't do as well. I had Stroll too. Didn't you say you... oh, right, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit annoying then, Duke. But, yeah, we all dropped Ricciardo for Stroll. And, I mean, the only saving grace, I guess, is Ricciardo didn't have that good of a weekend. And if Stroll just wasn't a shit driver, then we would have been fine. Sargent is still getting points. You should think of getting him better than Albon. Well, that's the thing. They both got equal points today, so it is interesting. We can drop down to Sargent. Again, though, Sargent's very much like Stroll, where it's 50-50 if he's ever going to even end up finishing the race. Perez, Stroll, Albon, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Red Bull, Ferrari. Hulk balanced my Stroll. Yeah, Harris, that was perfect from you then. I believe you would have got close to 200 points then. That's a really good weekend for you. Basically, anyone who no negatived, which I was contemplating, and I should have, having Stroll in my team. I did talk about Stroll potentially being on the, if you have him, no negative. But it's annoying. But Zhou with the pit stop was pain. Yeah, I mean, basically, they just kept him out there for way too long. They should have pit him. You know, when Hulkenberg... They should have pit him when Hulkenberg pit, because they should have known Magnussen would have picked up the pace, because Magnussen's tyres were fine, because obviously he was just going so slow to give Hulkenberg that gap, which meant that Zhou had a perfect chance, again, like Hulkenberg, to get out in the pits on those softs with a good amount of time left. But they just didn't, and I don't know why, because then the rest of the field just caught up to them, and he was miles behind. And then they had a terrible pit stop, like you were saying, yeah. I'm so happy that I did the no negative. Yeah, mate, Morris, I'm so frustrated I didn't do it. This weekend genuinely was good overall, compared to like the Red Bull, Astons, the Ferrari, Mercedes teams. However, if I just kept Ricciardo, or I just, you know, just taken that no negative like I was talking about, then it would have been better. Yeah, 200 points, Duke. Very well done. 200 points this weekend is very good. I mean, I'll show you the optimal teams. It's going to be a little bit disheartening seeing the optimal teams because it looks like 258 points, insane team. However, I'm pretty sure in the world, there's probably about 10 people with this top team right here. I mean, I doubt there's many people in the world with the top 3 teams right here who trusted Behrman off the bat. My main pain now is all our players are losing value and it will take us forever to get max. Yeah, that's the only issue. So let's have a mess about. So Perez probably a 0.3 again. Albon, he will go up 0.5 though. So we're 0.8 up. Tsunoda probably minus 0.1. Bottas minus 0.1. Stroll minus 0.5. So we're probably on the drivers a net 0.1 million, which isn't good, but at the end of the day, at least we're not dropping value. And then Red Bull and Ferrari will go up in value as well, which is a good thing as well. Big shout out to my man Sargent. Yeah, honestly, Sargent just stayed out of trouble today and it did him good. Very happy. I literally said I could have dropped to Sargent instead of Bottas, but I thought surely Bottas doesn't do anything stupid. Lo and behold, Bottas has another rubbish race. I'm already in love with Oliver Behrman. Definitely should get a seat for next season. Harvey, yeah, honestly, obviously they've got Hamilton coming through for the Ferrari. He was never going to go there next year. But with Haas opening up seats, I could see him moving to Haas because, you know, he's their reserve driver, isn't it? So I think Magnussen might be gone next season and they might bring in Behrman because he deserves it from what we've been shown this weekend. I mean, he was matching pace with Russell in the Mercedes. I know the Ferrari's a little bit faster than the Mercedes, but it was brilliant from him. I'm really proud of what he did. Joe had a chance to beat P14 at P10 and then would have been so many points. Yes. And then he just went and screwed it all up, didn't he? The slow pit stop was painful. Plus, they just didn't pit him at the right time, and now he's down to the -1. It's typical. Bro, Ricardo will go in the bin for Australia. Instant transfer. Oh, yeah, you know what? In front of his home crowd, he could cook. He could cook. Bro, Aston Martin constructor will get negative points. No, so Aston Martin will get 9 points. Because luckily for anyone who Aston Martin, Alonso sort of carried you guys. Ricardo had a 1-minute pit stop, I think. Oh, God, man. Literally, I think the fastest pit stop this weekend might have been a 2.5. I kid you not. Like, that's how bad the pit stops were this weekend. Who is getting fastest pit stop? Well, we're still waiting on that information. But I'm going to keep on refreshing this until we get it. Normally, last time it was like 10-15 minutes after the podium. Like celebrations. So it should be pretty soon. Hey, Alvin, my boy. How's it going? How's it going? Alvin, you got to join my F1 Fantasy League, bro. My team was exactly 100 mil, so I will defo have to change. Bro, yeah, well, you've had a great weekend. I mean, even us boys with the Stroll getting probably a -0.5 will still go up in value. Annoyingly, do we want to stick with Stroll? I'm scared to stick with him now. But then who do we bring in? Because Behrman won't probably be at Australia. And if Behrman's not a 14 million, then potentially we could drop down to... You know what? That's a shout. I might talk about this in my next video. If we drop down from Stroll to Sargent, who's probably still the cheapest, he'll probably be around 5.9. If we have enough money to go up to Alonso, that could be a really good team. The AlphaTauri New Zealand guy, I got, his name was way better. Liam Lawson. Yeah, Liam Lawson will have a seat next year as well, I think. Something will open up at AlphaTauri. Either Perez will get sacked or, sadly, I think they might drop Ricardo. Ricardo hasn't had a great start to the season, and Tsunoda's not much better, but would they keep an older Ricardo who has less chance to improve over Tsunoda, who could improve? You know, he's still young. I think they'll stick with the younger driver. Who is oh yeah, so we're going to find out in about max 20 minutes, Harish. I swapped from RB to Red Bull V-Carb to Red Bull Aston, but still right choice. Yeah, honestly, even though Aston had a stinker, they still beat V-Carb out. That's why I've been shouting to the hill and back how much V-Carb have stunk to have recently. I traded in Sainz to Perez and Hulk with Leclerc high in your league, and on the end, Aston and Red Bull was a good choice. Yeah, so if you had Leclerc and Perez, they would have sort of carried you with the Aston. I don't know. I think you would have been around similar-ish points to me, maybe around 200, but yeah, decent weekend for you. Red Bull were the fastest 3 pit stops, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the reason I think it could be Red Bull is because they were the only ones who didn't really have like interrupted pit stops, bar McLaren, Mercedes, and Haas. Zhou, we know, didn't have one because obviously they all pitted afterwards, but I didn't actually see how fast their pit stops were. Gotta love that I put in Gasly. Oh no. Mate, that is painful, honestly. But it is a luck of the draw sort of thing with these lower scoring points. Gasly could have easily have been where Ocon is, and it's just unlucky that he wasn't. So glad I held Ferrari over Aston. Had to trust my boy Behrman. Yeah, I was so nervous. If anyone was in the stream, I'm guessing a lot of you were in the stream before I logged in, I was shitting myself. I had no idea what to do because I didn't want to take the -10. But I was so scared of Behrman. And when he qualified 11th, I was nervous. But I was like, okay, we know the race pace is there. If he just stays clean in Saudi Arabia, he did it. And guess what? He did it. And then he got 24 points because he got driver of the day, like I was saying, which is fantastic for anyone who did have Behrman. So it's insane. Hey, Marco, how you doing? Very interesting F1 Fantasy points-wise, though, because I doubt many people got the optimal team. That's the only thing. I think everyone would have scored around 170 to around 210, which is fine, because if someone scored 210, they only got 23 points more than me, which is fine. And if you did do worse than me, you wouldn't have done too much worse than me, I don't think, because your team would have looked similar to one of my two teams here. Yeah, I've done so much with that for joining. I'll be so much for Alvin, mate. If you even came top if you didn't come last in my league, I'd be proud of you, bro. What do you think about the Alpine boys? Gasly might become cheaper. Yes, I'm going to talk about Gasly later on. I think Gasly might be a great shout because he's going to drop 0.5 mil now. And we know, again, what happened again. If they just stay out of bad situations, they will do well. However, this weekend wasn't the time, but it could have very easily have been Gasly on those 10 points instead of Ocon. I had Stroll, Magnussen, Tsunoda. Did you have Red Bull and Ferrari at least? Because if you had Red Bull and Ferrari, you would have still done okay. Oh, shit. You still would have done okay. Which is, yeah, Behrman will go up so much. That's the issue. Morris, mental. So, wait, Morris, what was your full team again? Because I know, yeah, because you know negative, didn't you? And I would have had 200 and, so 20 more points. I would have had 207 with the no negative. That is painful. If I drop Ricardo, should I get one of the Haas guys? Yeah, again, though, I know it looks like Hulkenberg did better, and he did do better this weekend. Magnussen's still the better shout because of the qualifying pace compared to race pace. It's funny how everyone was buzzing about Rick taking Perez's seat. Yeah, Perez actually had a really good weekend. He actually stayed quite close to Verstappen, close enough, so if Verstappen had an issue, he could have been in striking distance. The only issue is we know Perez does well here, so will he do well anywhere else? We'll see. We've got Baku coming up, which is the only good thing. I got more points than last track. Really? Yeah, because I took like a 50-point drop this weekend, but that's just because of Stroll, and also Red Bull itself didn't score as many because of the fastest lap points, and Ferrari didn't score as many points because Behrman did do well. But actually, we still need to wait and see actually, because they might have got fast. Actually, Ferrari didn't get fastest pit stop. Well, after minus 40 points, can I still win? Do you think? So. It's going to be difficult, Marco. And I do think now you're going to have to go a bit focus on the differential. So if I talk to people about if I think picking Alpines next weekend are the shout, and I say don't go for Sargent, you might want to go for Sargent to try to gain those points back. But it is a long season, and 40 points is a lot, but definitely you can catch up. Because we could have such a stinker. If Behrman didn't finish this race, I would have been like 150 points. It would have been terrible. So there are ways. Oh my God. Brager, you had Ferrari and Aston. That's what I was scared about without not having Red Bull. Because they're just so dominant. Look at how many points they score compared to everyone else. And they're probably getting the fastest pit stops. Actually, let me check if the fastest pit stops have come in yet. No, we're still waiting on the pit stops. That's annoying. However, that's not too bad. Yeah, also, anyone who had Behrman, loads of points. Anyone who didn't have Stroll, loads of... I mean, not points. I mean value. Driver values. Anyone who didn't have Stroll, value gone up crazy. People who had Behrman generally might be able to afford Verstappen next weekend over Perez, which I am scared about, because if people are locked into the Verstappen, Red Bull, Ferrari, and other people like us are locked out of it, we're screwed. I will probably have 178, which is fine. Yeah, I'm telling you, this weekend, if you got just more than 170, not the end of the world, because that's where most people were around. Yeah, Limaz, yeah, in it. 22 races to go. It'll be difficult, but it's still doable. Alvin, mate, that's going to be quite a while away. Hi Zach, told you I had faith in Behrman. Yes, you did. I remember. Michael, you were very much like Behrman. You were talking about how Behrman's going to do well, and he did. I'm so annoyed that I couldn't fit him in my team, because if I did drop to Sargent and then go into Behrman, and I'm saying this with hindsight, of course, it would have been amazing. I would have scored loads of points. However, having Behrman and Sargent sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. You know what I mean? Really? 211? Jesus. Yeah, I'm not angry at all. Oh God, I wish I know negatives now. How many points do fastest pit stops get? So you get 10 for the fastest pit stop, 5 for the second, 3 for the third fastest. However, constructors can get like the first, second, and third. So Red Bull potentially could get all 18. But we're gonna have to just wait and see because again, is it come out? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Pit stop summaries. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Limaz. Yeah. Right. Sorry. Yeah, Morris, Verstappen, Albon. Yeah, that you did really well there to get the no negative in because that made the Red Bull Aston Martin team worth doing. Right, so let's see. Time. That Verstappen pit stop looks fast. That Verstappen pit stop looks fast. So Verstappen to beat. Mercedes George Russell looks fast. Here we go. Lewis Hamilton definitely with the fastest pit stop. So Mercedes will get 10, I think. Haas with another fast pit stop. So I think it will be 10 points to Mercedes, 5 points to Red Bull, and wow, Mercedes might have got 8 points on the fastest pit stops. 21 points. Yeah, wow. I think Mercedes get 8 points. No, 13 points. Is that right? No. Yeah, 13 points. Yeah, Mercedes got 13 points for the fastest pit stops. They'll probably come in. So actually, if you had Ferrari and Mercedes, it's sort of worked out-ish okay with Verstappen. That's okay then. So for anyone with Mercedes, you've sort of got, yeah, they should come in with around 13 points now. Red Bull will get the other 5, which is still good for, it's still good for us who had Red Bull, but everyone had Red Bull basically. But if you had the Merc Ferrari team, it's sort of, yeah, so Merc 13 points, Red Bull 5 points. I think that's what's going to happen. I've got Max, Albon, Rick, Sergeant Bottas, Red Bull, Aston. Yeah, annoyingly, for anyone who know negative with Aston Martin, perfect. Like my boy Morris over here. He's done fantastic with that. Yeah, Alvin. Alvin, did you even have a team this weekend? 214, gotta be. Yeah, mate, honestly. I think you... what team did you have last weekend? Because if you had a similar team to me last weekend, you're ahead of us. If you didn't, then you've closed the gap back on us Red Bull Ferrari boys. I had Red Bull... Is that V-Carb and Merc or Red Bull Merc? Oh, yeah, Red Bull and Merc. If Leclerc didn't steal fastest lap, it would have been so good. Yeah, if Leclerc didn't steal fastest lap, Merc would have had 41 points, plus the 13 coming... Plus the 13 coming in, they would have 54 points, and it would have actually probably been better to have the Ferrari Mercedes team with Verstappen. I'm pretty certain, I think at this point, I don't have a team in anything. Alvin, mate, just watch one of my videos, join the league, and then just try not to come last, bro. I'll give you a $5 if you don't come last. I had 210 last weekend. That was the Red Bull V-Carb team. So I got 237 or something. 239 last weekend. Actually, I can check. Asset info. Nope, not that. Team calculator, was it in? I can't remember where it is. Yeah, here we go. So I got 239 last weekend. So 214, 210. You would be on 424. I believe you might be ahead of me, boy. Broski. That is mental. That is really good. Let's see. Why? Oh, I keep on pressing on the wrong thing. My bad. No, I'm not. What am I doing? Hello? Oh, I'm still so new to this. I'm still so new next to this. Because I just got F1 Fantasy Tools the other weekend. Because it's really good for these post-race talks. And I'm trying to find... Here we go. Yeah, I was being an idiot. So I'm on 426. So you would be on 424. Bro, with 2 points. Yeah, I bought the £5 thing so I could show you guys everything. So it's £5 a month so I could show you guys everything. But yeah, 424 to my 426, man. We are tight up in the top. I believe in our league, we should be around top 20-ish, I think. It depends if anyone did go for Leclerc or Behrman. Yeah, bro, Morris. Bro, you've really caught up after Bahrain. That is beautiful for you. How much off Red Bull finally getting for the pit stops? 5? No, I think they'll get 5. because I believe they got the second fastest. However, when I'm talking about these pit stops, of course, we can see sort of time of the day. We can see the time and sort of guess how fast the pit stop was. And annoyingly, they don't actually show exactly how fast the pit stop is, but we can guess. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? If the faster pit stop time, the faster they were not in getting their tyres changed. So yeah, it should be Merc 13, Red Bull 5 points. Yeah, I've talked about that. Yeah, this is my year playing F1 Fantasy. It's giving me more stress. Honestly, mate. So I had Piastri behind Hamilton all race, getting me like anxiety, because I was just like, oh my god, come on McLaren, this is a decent race for us. Norris with Hamilton again later in the race, trying to overtake him, scared shitless. And then I also had the back of my mind, okay, if Behrman doesn't get overtaken here, he gets driver of the day and helps Ferrari out on points. So I was like, do I want Norris to overtake him? I was like, yes, because I want McLaren to do as well as possible. However, I also want Ferrari to do well in F1 Fantasy. It was a whirlwind of emotions this weekend, and I'm hoping for an easier weekend on Australia. But we all remember what happened in Australia last year. Yeah, it might be a bit of an issue. If what happens in Australia next in 2 weeks happens what happened last year, I could be no negative, using the no negative next weekend, purely because it could be bad. On the hand, having the same amount of points as you, and I used my no negative chip, not that good, but it's fine. Just got to make the right picks. Yeah, mate, that's the thing. Oh wait, hang on, no, but yeah. So it's not perfect. However, it's a great recovery, because you never know, when I use the no negative, I might get nothing out of it, which is potentially what could happen. No negative is so all over the place. You never really know what's going to happen with it. My fantasy score hurts so much from having V-carb for Bahrain. Yeah, basically anyone who went for the V-carb team, yeah, they're sort of screwed, because then you had to opt for the Aston team, and then if you didn't have Aston, if you did have Aston this weekend, then then it would have been an issue, because obviously you had to no negative to get something out of Aston Martin this weekend. Thank God no negative. 214 is what I made, I think. Just scared of people with Leclerc Bear. Mate, I promise you, Leclerc Bear, minimal people had him. I know it sounds like crazy how many points they got, but was there anyone crazy enough to go for Leclerc Bear, Red Bull, Ferrari? I don't think there was. There might be a few, but on a rainy weekend, yeah, that's another good shout. Oh yeah, I'll share my league right now. Let's get it up for all you good people. Oh, also, don't worry about the league standings at the minute. They haven't updated since qualifying, and they won't update for quite a bit now. Basically, here we go. Here's the league link, and here's the league code. Navin, there you go. Join the league. I believe we have now... we've got over 300 people in this league now. I haven't looked since we had 285, because I guess on the stream we must have gone up so much more. Thank you all so much. I've also got to say... actually, I've got to check if this is still the case, because I did actually lose a subscriber about like 20 minutes ago, I think. Yes, we're back up. Thank you all so much for 700 subs. It's an amazing feeling. I haven't even done my 500 sub special yet, because... I can't yet. I promised that I was going to show my cat off, but I can't show him off yet because I'm not back at my... well, I don't know if it's where I normally live these days, but back at the house I could be at. So I'll get that going. But yeah, thank you so much for the 700 subs. I've almost doubled in subs for the last 2 weeks, which is just an amazing feeling. I can't thank you guys enough. That is actually crazy if you went for that. Yeah, innit? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't think many people did. Because going for Ferrari with Leclerc and Behrman, you have to have some big balls. Considering who expected Leclerc to get that fastest lap at the end there as well. Not me. Baku never rains. Yes. Yeah, but Baku a street track again where it could have a lot of drama. Australia had like what 8 DNFs last year. That was insane. So another chance. No negative for Monaco. One mistake get out. Yeah, Monaco's another decent time to use no negative. Yeah, that's why I'm so annoyed I didn't use no negative here. I should have. Yes, also no negatives for sprints. That is also a good it's also a good shout, because obviously we have a whole other sprint race, a whole other race technically to get -20, and we've also got to remember, let's go back to the game rules where we at. If you DNF in a sprint race, it's -20. So I might be saving it for a sprint race as well, where all of my chips are being used. Yeah, Limaz, very smart thinking on that. Then Qatar is normally, yeah, so it depends on what you're thinking about that. You might as well save that 500 stuff for a special 1K. Nah, mate, because the reason is 500 sub, obviously I'm going to do what I just said, show off my cat and stuff. However, 1K, I haven't thought of what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to do something big. I've got to do something big for you guys. If we hit 1K, then I'm definitely doing something. I don't know what it is. I will take suggestions. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And McLaren worth looking into finally. So the issue with McLaren, again, is if we go back to the live scoring, is Mercedes had an off weekend this weekend, and the issue is Ferrari's still cheaper, and even with Behrman, Ferrari did better. And we know when Sainz comes back, Ferrari's a decent choice, where they'll come 3rd and 4th again. So it's a bit scary if you don't go for Ferrari and Red Bull these days. And again though, we've also got to remember, don't count out the Red Bull Aston Martin team just yet, because if, like we said, Morris, if you could you tell me how many points Aston got with your, I don't know if you'll be able to. Actually, hang on. -10. I don't know how to do the maths for if Aston got a no negative. But basically, if Aston didn't have a crash that weekend, it would have been probably better to have the Red Bull Aston team. So don't count them out just yet. I know it's Stroll, so he could be crashing out all the time. But yeah, Michael, thank you so much. Yeah, I would appreciate that so much to everyone who does give this live stream a like, all of that good stuff. I hate doing this, but please like and subscribe. Not a lot of people DNF in the sprint. Yeah, it'd be more if there was just a crash. When are the sprint race weekends this season? Have they said when they're gonna be? Because if we look at the schedule. So there's not one in Australia, is there? No, there's not in Australia. If there's a sprint race on a street circuit, then I think I would recommend using it then, because first lap incident could happen and then we're screwed. Canada, does that have one? No, they're all later on in the season, aren't they? Spain, nope. Wow, they're really... Austria, yeah, Austria's got one. I wouldn't recommend using it there though. I doubt there'll be many crashes. Hungary, no. So basically with the chips though, Austria is normally where I use my Limitless or extra DRS, because that's also where McLaren could be an option, because they're going to be bringing in upgrades for the European circuits. Belgium normally have a sprint race here. No, we do not have one. Did we have one last year in Belgium? I could have sworn we had. Where the hell are all of these sprint races? Okay, they're much later on in the season. So you want to keep an eye out on the sprint races, but I don't think there's many. The first one's in Austria, I believe, and that's not for a while. How many chips can you use at once? Just the one. That's why I was trying to figure out here how many sprint races there were. Because if there's 4 or 5 sprint races, here we go. Sprint race in Brazil. Not probably worth using no negative there, though. US. Sprint race in US, again, probably not worth using no negative there. Qatar. Sprint race there. Potentially. Yeah. Oh, cheers for that, Morris. Yeah. So, China, Miami, Austria, Austin, Sao Paulo, Qatar. They're all much later on in the season, I believe. Apart from US. Yeah, okay, Miami's the first one. Miami, no negative. I'm not feeling it. I just... How many DNFs were there last year? I don't think there was many, were there? Let's have a look. Results 2023 Miami. Yeah, no, there was literally no crashes in the race. Yeah, so I wouldn't use no negative in Miami then. Just McLaren are over expensive. Yeah, they're just way too expensive considering Ferrari are your boys. They're still scoring more than McLaren with Behrman, and that says a lot. I know Behrman got driver of the day, but Sainz on a normal weekend would have got around what Piastri got as well without driver of the day. So we're fine with Ferrari. I use no negative with Red Bull, Aston. Yeah, literally. No. Albon was okay. Albon got 8 points in the end. And if you no negatived, you did better than everyone else, even with Red Bull, Ferrari, which is perfect. That's what you needed. No negating with the Astons. You've got to be happy with yourself, everyone, because we still don't know if for certain if the no negative is going to hit whenever I use it or whenever anyone else uses it. So just knowing you actually got something out of it, this was probably the perfect weekend to use it if you had Red Bull and Aston. That was an amazing overturn, and it will get you into the 200 points and push you back up the league from if you had Red Bull VCarb last weekend. What happens after someone uses Limitless Chip? Their team reverts back to what it was before they used it. I believe you still get your 2 free transfers, though. Yes, Navin, thank you. So Chinese Grand Prix, April. Miami in 3rd. How did I miss the Chinese Grand Prix? Yeah. Oh, okay, so we've got quite a few. Again, they're not really races where... Yeah, I get what you mean, Morris. They're not really races where crashes happen a lot. So I would be a bit... I'd be a bit cautious about using it. I'd still probably use it on, like, the Monacos or the race we just had. Any street track that a lot of race... Or even Australia, like I mentioned, where a lot of incidents normally do happen. China is the first one. 2 sprint race weekends back to back. Yeah, my F1 fantasy has gone because I had both salve drivers. No. Actually, can we actually say as well? What is this? Sorry, what is this? Haas and Williams getting 20 and 17 points. Genuinely, if you had a team, because how much did Haas score on constructors? If you had a team with Haas, I believe you could have brought in like Verstappen and Perez. They could have been optimal teams, bar the Red Bull Ferrari teams. Yeah, look, they're down here. Who would have guessed having Haas would have been the best team this weekend? What has happened to F1 Fantasy? I had Daniel, I had Max, Yuki, Rick, Gasly, Ferrari, Merc with no negative. That's just... Oh, yeah, with Gasly, that's perfect. You would have done okay as well then. And Merc got a lot of pit stop points coming their way because we believe that Merc got the fastest pit stop and the 3rd fastest pit stop. I missed FP3. Oh, my God, yeah. A lot happened in FP3, obviously. Yeah, innit? Yannick, you're gonna see on my next video, I'm gonna be like, screw everyone else. Haas is the constructor you need. Oh god. But yeah, it's been an interesting weekend, that's for certain, F1 fantasy wise, with the Behrman stuff. Sainz hopefully will be back next weekend. I wonder how long this Ferrari Red Bull strat's going to work. I genuinely think just until Perez has a bad weekend, that's when I'm scared. However, I do see how if Aston keep their pace in Australia, it could be an issue. However, we know Aston were going to be good around here. And will they be that good around Australia again? I don't think so. But again, we'll have to wait till Friday practice. But for now, I'm definitely saying Red Bull Aston back into the team talks at least. Red Bull VCarb definitely still not. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, because then Red Bull will get less, and then Ferrari and Merc will do better as your 2 constructors. So it really is interesting. Also, we're forgetting Perez is gonna get 1 race win, hopefully. this year. I mean, Verstappen might win all of them. We never know. But yeah. But I know no one's asked about this, but yeah, I would say steer clear of McLaren until upgrades are brought in, because if the upgrades do work out and they become the new Ferrari or actually can fight Red Bull, then we've got something serious on our hands. But hey, Haas defo has much better. Yeah, they did much better than we expected. I mean, it's oh my god. One of my peeps just messaged me. Forgot to take out signs. Oh no. Oh, wait, Limehouse, what's this? Perez is never having a bad weekend, because Perez definitely is a good driver. He definitely won't fall off in the next few races, which is annoying because our team value is supposed to be a lot higher than it is. But Stroll, screw you. Sonoda, screw you. Bottas, you know what? You still did better than Zhou, whatever. Albon, screw you, although Albon saved us a bit this weekend. Bro, just threw my man Perez under the bus. Yeah. Leclerc, Behrman. Oh, jog on, F1 enthusiast. This guy had Leclerc, Behrman. You know what? Very well done. Very well done. I'm not jealous at all. Not at all. Oh my god, I can't believe that. F1 enthusiast, are you in my league? Because if you're in my league, that's put you right to the top, I'm pretty sure. That is insane. We've found someone with Leclerc and Behrman. I genuinely believe if you go into next weekend, you'll probably genuinely, Behrman will go up so much in value. You might be able to keep Sainz, Leclerc and Sainz. If you can get Leclerc and Sainz in, you're insane, by the way. Because I'm guessing you would get rid of Behrman. You could drop down to a Bottas or a Zhou, who's going to drop down in value. You generally could have a team of Leclerc or Sainz. Or you could go the opposite way, get rid of Leclerc. I'm pretty sure you probably could bring in Verstappen now. If you dropped Behrman down, and you could take a -10 to get there, but you'd probably wait to get there. Aston Martin, am I keeping him all season? All right, yeah, that's fair. Also for today, Perez got the times for Max and Leclerc and got more or less told to manage, and then Perez drove the fastest lap at that point of the race. Yeah, so Perez had a good race. He did have a good race, which is, it's good for us, but how long can he keep it up? Hopefully for a bit longer, because yeah, once he starts falling down, all of a sudden we're getting everyone with Behrman in it. Right, so let's I actually have on asset info over here. Well, obviously they think it's Sainz, so he's gone down. So that's not very helpful at all. I believe Behrman will go up about 1 million. Because F1 fantasy points are rubbish. And yeah, no one really goes up more than a million and a half. Maybe pushing it, he could get 1.5 million up, but definitely at least 1 million he will go up. I chose Leclerc over Perez because I thought he was going to be faster overall. But now, since that wasn't even close, I don't know whether to keep Leclerc or switch over. Yeah, so Perez seems like the more consistent guy to have if you have the Perez Red Bull Ferrari team. However, of course, Leclerc goes and gets the fastest lap. It sort of helped me, sort of didn't, because I didn't have Leclerc. However, I did have Ferrari over Merc. So it's Will you keep Stroll for next race? Short answer, no. Annoyingly, I don't think I can. I want to bring in Alonso. I think for me at the minute, if I don't switch over to the Aston team, then the shout is to try and get Alonso in by bringing in Sargent, dropping Stroll. Dropping, who could I drop? Yeah, drop Stroll to a Sargent. No, I still wouldn't have enough points for that, I don't think. I'll try to fit in Alonso somehow, but if I can't, then I'll probably actually be keeping, Stroll. Yeah, in a bit, Morris. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a rest from F1 Fantasy now. I won't be making another F1 Fantasy video until Monday of next week. I will be carrying on with my normal content. I don't know what I'm actually going to do this week for F1 videos, but we'll see what I can think of. Nope, I discovered your channel yesterday. We'll join your league from Australia. Hey, good lad. If you join my league, mate, I'm pretty sure you're going to be one at the top, which would be, hey, that'd be perfect for you because we're actually doing a prize pool as well of 200 quid. So first place gets 75, second 50, third 30, fourth 25, fifth 20. So yeah, if you do win in my league, there's a cheeky little prize for everyone. Well, prize for top 5. I wish I could do more, but yeah. But yeah, I'm at uni, so I ain't got much money. Also, yeah, I'll link my league again. Yeah, Morris, yeah, look out for the results because I think you're going to be up there now with us boys. Like we said, you're going to be close to me. I believe we'll be both top 30-ish. So if we join the league late, do we miss out on the points? No. So if you join the league, I'm pretty sure last year you just joined the league in and out. So I believe you go in with your points. I believe so. I will find out next weekend for anyone who did join. But the reason I think that... Actually, no, I do know that. What am I talking about? Because everyone who has joined my league recently, people have still got their points from before. Because we haven't had 320... How many people we got? We haven't had 322 people since Bahrain. And a lot of people have got points. That's £200. Obviously, is going to be me as ever. Mate, Alvin. Genuinely, you know, are you part of the? Are you gonna get your high? Are you even in? Are you even in our FPL league this season? Because I'm pretty sure. Well, a price for top 5 is more than anyone expects. We just, yeah, of course, yeah. It's just a little treat for everyone who does well in the league, and yeah, and it's so much fun doing F1 Fantasy, innit? But yeah, Alvin, mate, if you came top 5. I'd be so proud of you. However, you don't even have a team yet, so you're 400 points behind. But yeah, anyway, what is the time? Yes, so I've been live streaming for almost an hour, I think. I'm probably going to call it a day there because I've got quite a lot of work to do. Annoyingly, actually, it's not annoyingly, but yeah. So I'll quickly go over everything once more. Red Bull Ferrari with Perez were the better team if you didn't know negative. Red Bull Aston Martin were better if you know negative. Again, but if you know negative with Stroll as well, it would have been good as well. And then Merck will probably get 13 points for the fastest pit stops as they got the first and third fastest for what we can see right now. However, we'll see how the points change. Red Bull got the other 5 points. And I believe that is everything that needs to be covered. Yeah, Limaz, I'm so happy everyone's enjoying these streams. Honestly, it means the world to me. And I love doing these streams with you guys because I love talking about F1 any chance I get. And with these live streams, I've been able to talk about F1 more than I think I have for quite a long time. So thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all so much for the support. And I'll see you all later this week for an F1 related video. Or I'll see you all later the week afterwards, because we've got a 2-week break now to Australia, for an F1 Fantasy video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.